morning, everybody. So today I'm going to be doing an experiment with a face primer, and this one comes from Prescriptives. It is the Flawless Face Primer, and this is just supposed to get your skin ready for foundation and help it stay on throughout the day. So I'm going to put this on my right side of my face and essentially nothing on this side. And I'm going to be wearing my foundation. I'm going to be wearing concealer, cream blush, powder blush, both pressed and loose forms. So all of those components, I'm definitely going to test the strength and the staying power that the primer claims that it will do for all of those face products. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the application of the primer. First, I need to put my hair back, and I'm going to put about this much. So I'm just going to smooth out all over my face. And it's really, it has like a cooling effect. I really like that. It's like real refreshing. So it's definitely one of those things that will definitely wake you up in the morning if you're putting on your makeup first thing in the morning. It'll definitely wake you up. You don't even need coffee. So I really like the application. It's really smooth, and it's kind of like, I think it feels like it's silicone base. It doesn't say, but I can definitely feel that it has like a silicone sort of ingredient to it. And I'm going to start off with the non-primer side. I'm going to take about that much and just pat it in my under eye area. I'm going to take the same amount, and I'm just going to see if this application feels a little bit different. And so far, the application seems to pretty much be the same. It doesn't seem as though it's going on easier or more difficult. I think they kind of spread out pretty much the same. Also, the finish is identical. I can't even really tell which side has the primer on. So far it's pretty much the same. Okay, so I'm just going to start off with stippling that onto my skin. Okay, and now for my primer side, I just put one pump again, and same brush. And let's see if the application is easier or more difficult, or if it gives me a different finish altogether. So what do you guys think? I think the finish is exactly the same. I really can't tell the difference between either side. I think it's a little bit easier to blend with the primer, but the difference is so slight. I think that it's pretty much the same so far. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my 3 different forms of blush. Again, I'm going to be using a cream and a loose powder and a pressed powder. And I'm going to put this right here on the outer part of my cheekbone. And again, this is the non-primer side. Now for the primer side, I'm just going to put the same amount and the same place, of course. Okay, so that is the cream blush. The application was pretty much the same. I think I may have spent a little tiny bit less time blending it out on the primer side, but it's just very slight. So far everything within the application has been the same with the concealer, the foundation, and the cream shadow, or the cream blush. I'm going to pick up a little bit and put this on my non-primer side. I'm also going to blend that into the blush cream just to see how well these two blend in together with and without the primer. So they blend in really well on the non-primer side. Now for the primer side, the color payoff is exactly the same. I really don't see a difference with the blendability or the color payoff. It's pretty much the same on both sides. And I'm just going to contour a little bit with that. So I just really want to see how the pressed powder, the loose powder, and the cream blush all work with the primer, and just see how it wears throughout the day. Now for the primer side. Okay, so that was the application of the concealer, the liquid foundation, the loose powder, the pressed powder, and the cream blush. The application is identical. I don't think that one has a better color payoff than the other. I don't think one has a better blendability sort of factor to the other. They're identical pretty much as far as the application goes. Now the test of wearability begins, and I will see you guys in the middle of the day. everyone, so it is about 2 o'clock right now. I just got out of school and everything looks good. The only thing that I can see a difference with is my concealer. If you can see right here, it's starting to like crack on the primer side. It's starting to like crack like right underneath my lash line, and on the non-primer side it's not doing that. So that's a disappointment. But anyway, that's my midday update, and I'll see you guys later on tonight. Hi everyone, so it's a little bit past 9 o'clock and I have been wearing my Flawless Face Primer from Prescriptives all day on my right hand side and no primer on my left hand side. And as I mentioned earlier this morning when I applied it, the application was pretty much the same. And also when I checked in with you guys in the middle of the day, I made a comment about my concealer kind of cracking on the primer side. So I kind of smoothed it out with my finger a little bit after that. But yeah, that was kind of a disappointment. I thought that it would definitely make my concealer more of a smoother, a more even finish. And it really didn't. It cracked my concealer. So that was a disappointment. As far as the foundation, it has really stayed on really nicely. I think they look pretty much the same on both sides. Now the blush, that is a different story. Which side looks brighter? I think this side looks brighter, and this is the side without the primer. As I'm looking in the mirror right now, I have a significant more amount of blush on the non-primer side than I do on the primer side, and it faded. So unfortunately, the primer didn't keep my blush on. So I'm not saying don't try this product. I'm not saying that it's a bad product. I definitely encourage you to go out and try it. It may work better for you than it did for me. So hopefully this gives you a few ideas to work with if you are interested in purchasing a primer, or if you are interested in the Prescriptives Flawless Face Primer. This is $27.50 and it's available at Prescriptives counters and the Prescriptives website. And I'll put the link to that website on the sidebar so you guys can check it out, maybe do a little bit more research. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment down there. And you guys have a great week. Thanks so much for stopping by. Bye.